on the big man himself, Bowser. This guy, man, he is my favorite character in Smash Brothers. He is so fun to play as, and I just love him. So hopefully I can do him justice here. That's my big hope today. He's kind of complicated. There's a lot of scales going on here, and he's got big feet, big body. Right? There's a lot going on. So hopefully I can do him justice. Also, wanted to give a big shout out. It seems like my Daisy drawing went pretty viral for me. And I know that's kind of a funny thing to say because it did not have that many views, honestly. But for me, it's been quite viral, actually. So I've actually only been doing this for 2 weeks or so, drawing every single day, and it's just been very organic. And Daisy had like 10 times as many views as any of my other videos at this point. So really cool. So if you watched Daisy, thank you. It's phenomenal, and hopefully you'll enjoy Bowser as well. For those of you new to the channel, I'm just trying to enjoy drawing, and I want to learn how to be a better artist. And I think it's cool that on YouTube there's a lot of people that really know how to draw that are on there. But I, for one, have never seen someone trying to show what the process looks like. What is the not so sexy part of drawing, right? The part of like learning. How long does it take you to learn how to draw well and all of that? And I figured I'd kind of chronicle it here for you so you can see what that all looks like. And in the process, I hope to learn how to draw better, and hopefully inspire you guys to go out and do the same. If it's drawing, come draw with me, draw something along with me, and if it's something else, we'll do something else. But know that whatever you do that's worth doing is hard, and it takes longer than a couple days or weeks to get good at something. So even if you're not totally into the drawing scene, and that's not your thing, that's fine, right? Like, I think the same skills and learning curve could probably be applied to sports, any sport or any skill that you want to learn. So hopefully that's helpful. Also, just throwing out there, since we're on the topic of Daisy, I thought it was really awesome too that my second most popular video was Princess Peach. So maybe it's just everyone loves the princesses. I don't know. Princesses are good to draw, fun to draw and whatever. So I guess if that's what everyone wants, maybe those are the ones that when I come back to do redraws, that's what I can draw. But anyways, I didn't think they were particularly amazing or anything, so that's kind of why it kind of caught me off guard. But I guess people liked it, I guess. So that's awesome. I'm glad that people enjoyed it. So anyways, with Bowser, as I mentioned, he is my favorite character. He is just a big boy, and he hits so hard. And I love that. I really, really like the hard-hitting characters. I think they're just so satisfying, and it's, pretty epic. And I love that. That might come down a little too much. But anyways, I think that's so cool. I also am I think it's great that I think he first appeared in Melee, if I'm remembering correctly. And in Melee, they had him do this weird, like, scurry thing. I don't if you guys played it, you'll probably remember that Bowser never ran. He kind of like scurried along the ground. It was really weird looking and not very foreboding or scary. You know, it was just kind of a weird uh, a weird looking thing. You know, not very intimidating. So I found that I never played as him very much. I wasn't. It just wasn't. I didn't care, I guess. Um, but since they've given him a much more menacing run, that's just terrifying. I mean, he just starts chasing you, and you know, he's stomping, and you can see it, you know, stomp on the screen. And it kind of shakes it a little bit. Super cool looking, super cool. So I've really enjoyed that, and I also love how in just Smash Brothers in general now for Ultimate, they really added in a whole bunch of new heavy, menacing characters. You know, you look at King K. Rool and Ridley, and now Incineroar, and all these that just they're heavy and they are they're great for it. So I just am glad they gave me more people to play with because heavy characters so fun. So fun. I have friends that they like playing as like the Sonics and other people like that, and I just don't really care about Sonic and all those other like really slow people, or really fast people that never, you know, can never hit anyone off the stage. Like I've tried to play with Sonic before, but he is so frustrating to me. Like the whole time, I'm just thinking, man, I literally can't get you off the screen. I can smash you as much as I want, but it won't actually make a difference. I can't get you to leave me alone, and that's certainly not the case with Bowser and friends. They even if you have not very many, you know, your percentage is pretty low. Even still, you can get rocked by the big man himself. So I think that's pretty awesome. I'm excited for King K. Rool. As I mentioned, I think he'll be a fun addition, and he looks like he can be a powerhouse too. And I love too that they made him more menacing. Also, I think that's important for these big guys. They got to look scary and intimidating. You know, if they're not intimidating, then it just kind of takes it away. And the fact that King K. Rool, you know, will get on all fours like that's epic, and I love it. Because, you know, he's kind of a goofy character, really. I mean, he's always been a goofy character, and so like when they first announced him, I was like, I don't really get it, why people, you know, want him so badly. But, you know, each their own. That's cool, I guess. But as I've been kind of thinking about him, and I've seen his gameplay a little bit more, you know, I'm like, okay, I'm totally on board for this. It's kind of like Piranha Plant was that way for me too, where at first I was just like, I don't get it, you know, and I was really confused. But the more that I think about it, the more I'm just like, game on. Like Piranha Plant is going to be super fun. Not a heavy hitter, doesn't look like, right? He looks like a more of a medium build kind of guy. But man, he looks like he will be super fun. And the range on that, you know, where he goes into his pot and pops out, like that looks like it'll be really cool. So I'm excited about that move. I think that'll be pretty fun. And we'll just mess people up. Also, Piranha Plant is one of Bowser's minions, right? So I think that'll be a fun combo, Piranha Plant and Bowser. If I'm teaming up with people, I just think that would be pretty cool. Pretty cool. All right, we'll give him his little shell thing. This goes out. Bowser has quite a bit of detail going on. So one thing I've learned as I've done this now for 2 weeks is that it's good just to kind of get into the rhythm. I mean, I can totally see why people would like put on some music and just start going. I find that if I overthink my drawings, that's when they're not nearly as good. And I think that's kind of interesting. And as I'm going, I'm realizing too, oh, wow, that was a weird thing that happened there. Ugly finger. As I'm going to, I'm realizing he's a little, these fingers are not coming out right. He appears to be a little wide, wider than I'm intending. But I guess that's just how the cookie crumbles this time, I suppose. But I guess I'll see what I can do to make him a little less wide. Maybe when I put on the final lines, it'll be a little bit better. Go ahead and save it. If you saw my Captain Falcon episode, you'll know that I unfortunately lost my entire drawing and just the computer pooped out on me, and that wasn't fun. So now I'm want to be careful that I save a lot, and I'm trying to get into the habit of doing that because it's not fun to draw all this stuff and then just have it all go away. So kind of lame, but it's less about the deliverable at this point, right? Like having a bunch of drawings is cool, but what's more important is the process, going through the whole thing and seeing how it turns out. And so in that case, right, not total loss. With my Daisy drawing too, which, if you watch that, you'll know that my internet petered out on that one. And so I had to, I'd lost at least video of part of the drawing. So you see kind of at this stage or so, and then it cuts to the final. And, honestly, that might be preferable. I don't know. If you, for those of you watching, I'd actually love to know, do you like every step of the way, or should I have kind of a beginning and then kind of an end like I do in the Daisy video? So let me know which you prefer, like this style video or Daisy. So curious to see what you prefer. I kind of envision this as being something that would be really good to kind of have in the background, and you can look up, every once in a while to see kind of how it's going, and really just listen to my methodical voice, because who doesn't like my voice? I've heard it's very soothing. Could be really good to go to sleep to, and so maybe that will be a good thing for you. I don't know. Here we go. Give him a little. You can thin him out a little bit here, a little less chunky. There we go. Get him a little more muscular. I liked heavy character as well. Ganondorf. He fun character, but I like how they went back to his more to his Zelda. Sorry, they're all Zelda. Duh. The original Ocarina of Time look, because he is kind of more. He's more athletically built in those, and I like that. His Twilight Princess look was just like too, I don't know, fat for me. It was just too thick. I didn't like the build, and I think that kind of threw me off, and I didn't like that as much. I certainly didn't play with him nearly as much because of it, and so I think that's kind of a big thing. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and go into my darker layer. I'm going to come in here with black. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in once I save it again. Pretty sure I saved it just like 2 seconds ago, but I'm going to jump in here. Oh. All right. I'm going to darken this guy up. Oh, he looks so maniacal, and I love it. Bowser's just so fun. I must say though too, like it doesn't make any sense that Bowser's hero, his arch rival is a fat Italian plumber who he always loses to. Like, seriously? You are a baddie dragon, or a dinosaur, or whatever the heck he is. How are you losing to a fat plumber? I just don't get it. But, I mean, Mario's pretty amazing, I guess. He's been on a lot of adventures. So, maybe he's really... I don't know. He's seriously more than he looks. And I've said this before, and I'll say this again because, I think it's so true. Mario should not be fat at this point. He's been on so many journeys. The dude doesn't eat, right? So he should be like six-pack man. Six-pack man. No, he should have a six-pack. And he should be like, a thing to behold, right? He is constantly out there jumping and running and all that stuff. So I think that's undo. So I think that's so funny. I was drawing Captain Falcon earlier, and Captain Falcon's just ripped, right? Like his character is just unreal how ripped he is, and I thought it was so funny that that dude sits all day. He literally sits in his car, and that's it. At least so we know. And he's totally ripped, and yet Mario runs around and is constantly fighting the bad guys, and somehow he is the fat one there. Captain Falcon should be fat. That's my 2 cents. So as you're watching this too, would love to know who your favorite Smash Brothers character is, and why you like him. Are you kind of like me, that you like the more heavy characters? Do you prefer the characters that are are lighter and fast? Because again, like I understand that some people just really, really like the fast characters. It's not my style, but I get it. It can be really hard when you're a slow character to like fight someone that's super fast. So if they can hit you 100 times before you can hit them once, right? It doesn't matter how strong you are, they're going to come out on top. So that's kind of interesting. I don't know what this little line is here. Yeah, there you go. I lost a little bit of my nose there, but that'll do. Edit, undo. I also, sadly, I don't have my my keyboard with me today. I am out with my family. With my parents and things. Which is fun, but it just means I don't have my usual setup. So hopefully that's okay, and hopefully like the audio isn't terrible if it cuts out or whatever. That's why, unfortunately, and I'll try to do what I can to not, replicate that issue, if it keeps coming up, but that's why. And so hopefully though you still find enjoyment here as you're watching this. Come through here. I'm liking this. I'm liking what I'm seeing here. I think he's turning out kind of well. If this is taking too long for you, feel free to skip ahead or feel free to go 2 times speed. I know I'm a 2 times speed kind of guy, and I talk slow enough that you can definitely put me on 2 times speed, and that'll work. Actually, I've considered just uploading my videos at 2 times speed because I 100% know that everyone's still going to be able to understand me. So I'm curious if that would be helpful. If you guys would like that, let me know in the comments if that's something that would be interesting. Otherwise, you can do it on your end too. I love 2 times speed. I think it is so wonderful. It actually has made it so now, like in real life, I'm just like, hey, talk faster. Which also, I must say, is pretty ironic because I do talk so slowly, and so I'm like the kind of hypocritical, right? That I would ever tell someone they're not talking fast enough or whatever. So funny stuff, but I guess YouTube kind of spoils you that way. So I know that Bowser's got a ton of scales and stuff. I'm going to forego the scales in this drawing because that's just going to take a long time. Maybe at some other point I'll do that, but currently it's a little late at night. I like to do these drawings early in the morning, and so at this point that I'm doing it so late, it's a little outside the ordinary, but what ifs. We'll have some good stuff for tomorrow. I think my problem is I'm trying to do these fingernails first. I should not. That kind of hands. Hands are hard. Zoom out a little bit here. Bowser, I feel like I am doing you a solid here. I feel like I'm drawing him pretty good. That makes me happy, you know? And that's one thing that I've really appreciated as I've done this project is just how it just makes you feel good when you make a drawing that you kind of are proud of, that you like the way it looks. People can definitely look at this and say, oh, that's Bowser. I know that guy. And that's a good feeling. And I think there's also something too that you are your own worst critic, right? And so it's fun when you feel like, yeah, I did something good there, and I feel good about it. And yeah, I mean, I'm liking it. I think he's turned out kind of cool. Not perfect, obviously, but like his face, like he looks menacing. And he looks just like I want him to look. Which is fun. This spike's going. I also want to know, how does Bowser lay down? Does he just always have to lay on his stomach? I mean, he must. He's got spikes everywhere. Also, does he sharpen his spikes? How does his spikes? They never get dull. Doesn't quite make sense. But maybe he's got an army of Goombas or his wizarding buds or whatever that do all that for him. He's like, hey, you need to sharpen my spikes or else I'll eat you or blow fire on you. Also, right? Like, he is a full-on dinosaur. Mario doesn't blow fire. Mario isn't huge and menacing. Yet Mario always seems to win. It's funny how that... Well, weird, it didn't want to draw, and then it did. Mario always seems to work. There we go. Always seems to win. Oh, still. I tried to turn the screen upside down on that one, and still just no dice. All right. Okay, and we'll come through here. We'll try the finger first approach, and then the fingernails to see if that helps. Yeah, fingers are hard. They're crazy hard. All right, I'll come over here. All right. Okay, we'll go ahead and save this. We'll zoom out. Come on. Oh, too much. There we go. Bowser. I like him. I do. I think he did turn out a little wide, but still not bad. So yeah, this is fighter number 14. 14. And let's give him a score here. Oh, this little line right here. There we go. I like him. I think he turned out really well. Probably one of my better drawings, right? Still not perfect. Oh, also, someone in the comments asked if I would get rid of my sketch lines at the end. Kind of show what he looked like in the end. So here he is. So yeah, I like him, and cool that I can kind of see the before and after. I kind of like the sketch lines because it gives him like a cool, like little bit of shading and stuff. Granted, in the final, you would never want all the sketches, but it's kind of cool to see the differences there. So anyways, score here. I like him a lot. I'm going to have to give him a 7 out of 10. He is one of my more liked ones. And again, it's probably because it's Bowser, and I just love Bowser. I think he's just a super fun character. But I think, the proportions are similar here. I think like his face is probably the best out of, most all of the faces that I've done at this point. I like, the arms and stuff. I think I also am, this hand is bigger, right? So, and this one's a little smaller. So I started to get a little bit of this, the proportions right there for the foreground and background kind of thing. But something here is you'll notice his foot is like stepped forward and this one is stepped back. But here, if anything, they look like they're on the same level. This one might even be a head, right? So I didn't quite do that part of it right. So this leg probably needs to be erased and done over, right? But overall, I think it's turned out really well. Hopefully you liked it, and I guess we'll see you guys tomorrow or later today, depending on when you watch these, to get the next one. I believe the next one on the docket is the Ice Climbers. And that one's a 2-for-1 whammy. I got to draw 2 characters in one day, but I think I'll be good. So, anyways, bye.